Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? This is AV, and I just want to say quickly, this is part one of my artist talk with Fred Noland at the South Berkeley Public Library Zine Fest. Stay tuned for part two. Welcome, everybody. This is a conversation with Fred Noland, myself. I'm AV Jetter. I'm gonna ask Fred to introduce himself, and then I'll introduce. Why did they have it backwards? And then I'll introduce myself as well.
I'm Frederick Noland. I'm a Bay Area-based cartoonist, visual storyteller. I work in animation, comics, illustration, graphic notes, anything where you use words and pictures to tell stories.
Nice. And again, my name is AV Jetter. I am an artist, and I write, I draw, and publish the horror comic book, Nothing Good Ever Happens at 4 a.m. I'm also organizer. I've been organizing with San Francisco Zine Fest for the past 10 years. I recently just retired from organizing with them to organize Oakland Creates. I helped organize this fest, the first ever South Berkeley Public Library Zine Fest. And I'm a huge horror movie, sci-fi movie fan. Part of several different anthologies that you can find. Most notably, the latest one was Box of Bones with John Jennings and Aizi Jama Everett. And so we'll just jump into a few questions. I have a few questions for Fred, and we can talk about our artwork as well as we go through. Did you have questions for me? Do you want to kind of go back and forth?
Yeah, we can just knock it back.
Sweet. So since my artwork is up, I'll defer to you to ask questions.
So where are you? Bay Area native?
I am not a Bay Area native, although I was raised in Richmond, which is about 10-15 minutes from here.
Okay.
I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Most of my family is from the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you? You said you were raised in?
I was raised in Richmond, California. We came here when I was like three years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely a very strong Bay Area flavor to your comics.
Okay, for sure.
But so many people, like, I'm not from here. Like, I've met two people my whole 25 years who are from here.
Right.
So I was curious, like.
No, yeah, most of my direct and like immediate family were all born in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we came to California when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of everything is informed by the Midwest, although I, grew up in Richmond and lived in Oakland as an adult for the past 30 plus years.
Would you say that you, do you feel still Midwestern? Because I'm a Southern extraction. My mother's from Arkansas, my father's from Alabama. I grew up in Texas. And that just doesn't go anywhere. Like even though I lived in Southern California and that's where the dumb accent's from. There's I weird people out sometimes. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to do this very formal Southern thing.
Right.
Because my mother will smack me in the back of the head.
Right.
So
No, I definitely feel like I'm more Midwest than California.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge distinction. Because a lot of black people from California, their families, their grandparents and their great-grandparents did migrate from the South or from the Midwest.
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot of cultural things that we did bring with us from the South.
Yeah.
Like you were saying. So although I, lived here, I'm 57, so 57 years, I still feel very Midwest in terms of the family dynamic and cultural dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of things that my mom brought with her, my uncles and cousins, I still do. The Cincinnati style spaghetti or some of the catchphrases I find myself
What's Cincinnati style spaghetti? It's
like,
my first time
yeah, like the spaghetti is more like chili with noodles instead of like a traditional Italian spaghetti sauce bolognese.
Okay.
Yeah. I freaked everybody. I went to Nashville for college, and I freaked everybody out. They're like, this is more like chili with noodles. It's not spaghetti. Like,
were they like, we're worried that Amy's having a nervous breakdown?
No, they were actually just like, we've never had this before. Most of the students were from like Chicago themselves, so like kind of shocked that they've never had
You
that.
would think like there would be some crossover.
Yeah.
And so, growing up in Richmond, like, have you always drawn? Were you always like someone who communicated
For sure. I was just writing about this morning for my Open Critics anthology that I started drawing just to sort of follow my older brothers around. And they all were artists and created their own comic books and
Oh, wow.
had just huge imaginations, and I just wanted to fit in with them and just follow, because I have 4 older brothers. And so I started drawing at 3, 4 years old, just to keep their attention, keep them from kicking me out of the boys' room.
There you go.
Yeah, I've been drawing
It's a
ever
ticket,
since.
to admit you.
Yeah, for sure. And just never stopped. Like, most kids stop around junior high, and I just never stopped drawing.
Yeah, a lot of people do fall off. My son, I've got a 10-year-old, and he still draws, and it's like really imaginative, and I'm just like, yeah, you're not gonna keep doing this because your life's too good. Your mother and I have done too good by you, so you don't need to escape the world.
Right, for sure. That's a huge outlet. Art is definitely a huge outlet.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's something that happened when you were younger to keep encouraging you to keep going?
Yeah, so similarly, so I have an older brother and older sister in my immediate family. I have Papa was a Rolling Stone, so there's a
I'm
lot
going
of
to forward it to your artwork as you talk.
And so with the 3 of us, my brother's special needs, like intellectual challenge, and my sister, who's 3 years older, was really creative, still is. She makes a Christian singles podcast now. She used to draw fashions for her kids. She's like I would imitate her, because like she was my big sister.
Right,
And
right.
same thing in junior high school. She got serious about school. Like she had some teachers who were like, you didn't want to do this, and she, great student, like complete opposite way. And I stuck with it. And I just ramped up. And never stopped because it was a similar thing. I wanted to imitate my sister, and then it was a very good way of getting away from some pretty unpleasant circumstances at times.
Yeah, so can you talk a little bit about this project? If you that'll go back to your book. Welcome.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about this project.
Yeah, so this is Steady Rolling, came out in 2023 from the Page Project, and it collects all my autobiographical comics. And I approached JT Ghost from Birdcage, and I was just like, hey, would you be interested in putting together a collection of this other book that I'd done, Black Sheep, that was like kind of a Gen X Black story. And he was like, I like those comics, but I really like that I worked with him a few times on other anthologies. He's like, I really like your autobiographical stuff, so can we do a collection of that? And I was like, yeah, I might have like a couple of things. And I realized a real great discovery because I'm very obsessed with myself. It's like I have written a lot about myself. I don't know, I don't keep track of it. But
Right.
it's
Same. I'm realizing that now as I'm writing about different health issues that I'm drawing my self-portrait over.
Yeah.
I feel it does feel a little self-absorbed.
It does, yeah, but whatever. There's worse ways for it to come out than funny books. And that first story is actually kind of an origin story because that's my mother bought me a boxing Cradle 64s,
And that was a big deal.
It was a huge deal. Like we lived in, I don't know if you know Houston, but we lived in 3rd Ward. It was like that. It's a second to worst neighborhood in Houston, and this was almost 50 years ago. So for her to give up that money, because she could see that I needed that great development, it's huge for me. And that was for Cringe, which was edited by Peter Conrad.
Okay.
And in the middle of working on it, my mother passed away.
Oh wow.
And I was like, when I started working on it, on the story, I was like, I got an idea about this is gonna happen. And then in the middle of that happened, and I was just like, I don't know if you guys need to go ahead and run with the anthology. I actually can't draw this right now because it was just I still come in and just stare at the paper and just be like, no.
Too emotional. Yeah.
No, it was
No, that's heavy. And I mean, that's really where I'm at too with my zine about grief, which is turning into a graphic novel. Some of the ideas around it was processing grief, loss, and loneliness. And then as I'm writing the stories of my relationship to the people who passed away, I've had to take breaks for the same reason. Because I'm just crying at the paper. You might have been staring. I'm just literally crying okay. I can't draw this.
Love her. I'm not even gonna lie. I went a few times. I was like, like it was an ugly cry.
Ugly crying, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's my mother. But like when I returned to it, it was a very different story because it was very much informed by her passing, and it also really softened my take on those times. Because like when I came back to it, like there's a fair amount of heartbreak that's necessary to kind of tenderize this thing that I got going on here.
No, that's real. I mean, also the perspective, once you step away, hindsight is 20/20, and some of the things the decisions that you make while the person's alive sort of don't necessarily align with who you are after the person's passed away.
Yeah, and it just looked a lot different. So that was a real turning point in the way I make comics.
Thanks for watching. Comment, like, and share. Stay tuned for more. You are amazing. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video.